That's good. Introducing our first guest of the morning, Patrick Midnight McBride. What's your favourite musical, Patrick?
It's La La Land.
La La Land.
Yeah, I know it's not a stage production yet, but the lyrics and the songs, the content, it's a beautiful musical, yeah.
Right. Okay, There you go. As Phil says, let us know. We're looking forward to receiving for me, emails is the best thing of doing it. studio@boltonfm.com, and especially if you'd like a record playing for yourself this morning, a dedication to yourself or a friend or a family, if it's somebody's birthday out there, please let us know here at Bolton FM in the centre of town. Right. That's the question of the day. And now, Patrick or Midnight, what's your real name?
It's Patrick Joseph McBride, and I used to be known as PJ. I was growing up because I'm a very big Irish family, so that's quite common. There was, I think, 7 Patricks. There's, my granddad, my dad, myself, my nephew, other relatives. So on Christmas Day we had Paddy, Pat, PJ Junior, Pat, just to make sure we knew who everybody was.
Right, that's fantastic. But now you're known as Midnight.
Yes.
Now, you were a bit of a bad lad in the past. You did a few naughty things, drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, sure. I was violent. I got a handle on that because I learnt through discipline, because I became a cage fighter for a while. But I also, took a lot of drugs, alcohol. I partied, basically, and that was my way of coping. Getting through life, my way of managing stress.
You were stressed out?
Very stressed, yeah.
Why were you stressed?
I was unhappy. The job I was doing, I was working many hours. And I think for lots of reasons, the human mind, anxiety, stress, worry, anger, frustration, depression, these are all mind-created. They all come from within, and they're therefore all under our control. So by learning how to use correct thinking and quiet the mind, you can actually learn a bit of inner mastery and discipline.
Okay, so how did you get away from those horrible things?
I had you can call it a nervous breakdown, a shift, spiritual awakening, or you could call it menopause, midlife crisis. But there came a point in my life when I realised that all the things that I was doing in my life, nothing was making me happy. I was very unhappy. And so I retreated from the world for a while. I became quite introvert. And
at home kind of thing?
Yeah, I didn't go outside for a while. And then I started to learn how to meditate. And as I meditated, all the problems, I started to quiet the mind, so stress, anxiety, etc. sort of left. And I found that drink, drugs, all the things that were negative in my life just went effortlessly. They started to move away and became very peaceful and started to experience joy and bliss, which is your inner state. When you quiet the mind, that is your natural state, your true nature.
Now, this is Buddhism, isn't it?
I am Buddhist, but I don't teach Buddhism, I just teach meditation. You don't need to be a Buddhist, obviously, to meditate.
Right. And how does one teach meditation?
Well, meditation is a very personal journey, but to start with, you need instruction, and there's lots of different types of meditation. We start with concentration, and then we're going to visualization, observation. These are called the preliminaries, and vocalization. These are where it's sort of stages you go through, and then you move into what they call placement meditation.
I mean, at the moment, there's a lot of conversations taking place about mental health.
Yes.
And young people, university students who are under great pressure to perform, kids doing the SATs even as young as that, and then going on to secondary school, having to achieve the right number of qualifications to get to university. And when they get to university, they're getting pressured again. Yeah. Now, and a lot of time is spent these days in the NHS and other areas in promoting healthy bodies with diet and all that, but you're trying to promote here good health in the mind.
Yes, most people put mind at the bottom of the list. A lot of athletes that I know put the body first, and then the social lives, television, etc. And way down at the bottom is mind. Now, mind's actually, as I say in the book, at the back of the book, that mind's more important than food. And people think you're crazy, but if you don't eat for a few days, you'll recover. But if your mind isn't operating and functioning correctly and you're having negative thoughts or severe ups and downs, emotional turbulence, you might not make it through the day. You may have a bad accident because you're not fully present. Or, as has happened recently in the last couple of weeks, people take their own life. Somebody I know has taken their life in the last couple of weeks as well.
Now, you are an athlete, aren't you? You do the Ironman.
I do indeed. I can't do it this year, unfortunately, because I'm away. But I did it last year and I'm doing it next year. So, yes. And that's endurance sport. Once you move into that area, once you get past a certain distance, you get your body to a certain level and condition it. But beyond that, it's all about the mind.
Yeah. And do you think that good mental health and workouts, being not necessarily an athlete, but somebody who goes to the gym or goes on regular exercise, that's right, cardio, exercise, keeping fit, does that help the mind?
Massively. The two are intrinsic, they go hand in hand, and you'll find that exercise, certainly with endurance sport, once you get past a certain period of time, about an hour into an exercise, it becomes meditative. So you actually go into what they call the zone. And once you're in this place, you're not worried about paying your gas bill. All you're focused on is your breath, putting one foot in front of the other, and you have peace and experience clarity. It can be very cathartic and a wonderful experience doing sport.
Am I talking about endorphins here? That's probably the medical term for that rush and that feeling that is behind what you're saying, but it's how you focus your mind on that, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I tend to, there's obviously a medical explanation and a physical, a material explanation for everything, but I actually I like to focus on the mind and the concepts of the mind rather than the technical terms. But yes, it's endorphins being released into your body. Exactly.
Fantastic.
Patrick, having a friend in a time of need is really, really important.
Yes. I won't go into the full details now, but we've had some celebrities that are assisting me in promoting my book that have offered to do it. And one of those celebrities, who was the final one of 4 that was going to start promoting the book last week, ended her life on Tuesday. So it's very important that nobody suffers in silence, that people are, in order to open these doors, somebody has to go up first, and that's why my book, I'm very honest, because I think it's important that we have to talk about everything in order to learn anything. You have to have a complete picture to make informed decisions, and we don't want anybody to feel alone. It's ironic that the book's designed to help people that are struggling with stress, suffering, mental health, and yet somebody that was going to promote it all along was suffering in silence and we didn't know.
Now, I've got the book here, From Pills to Peace, My Journey into Meditation by Midnight McBride. It's quite a nice-looking book. Tell us about it.
Sure. It's a autobiography, and it's also an instructional book with the different techniques of meditation. It talks about my life, what it used to be like. It's really important. There's a lot of people that are floating around on a cloud, and there's other people that are suffering, and it's the gap between. And when you're honest and open and tell people about my life beforehand, they can resonate with that and see that it's probably worse than any of theirs. And if I can change, that anybody can change, that it's never too late.
Is it as easy as that, Patrick?
No, it's not easy. You've got to choose. You've got to make the decision that that's what you want. I can give somebody the techniques to reduce the suffering and find inner peace, but I can even hold the hand and I can show them the view and take them up, but they have to walk the path.
It's like losing weight, though, isn't it? It's easy. I know I want to lose weight. I know I need to lose weight, but when it comes to losing weight, it's not easy.
Well, it's a choice, and I think depending on your level of suffering, when you are really suffering, you're prepared to do almost anything, and then it requires a little bit of discipline and dedication. And with meditation, rather than it just being reactive, you need to build up momentum, so you need to have a daily practice. You need to do it every day.
I think what you're trying to say is that it's about your own personal situation and relative to others. And I suppose from your book, if you could say how low or how bad things were for you, then somebody else could, on whatever the continuum is, that people can decide where they are. Were they worse than you? Are they better than you? Yeah. And then make that decision to get better.
Yes. I think it's important. The difference with this book to other books about meditation is they just talk about the meditation. I think it's really important to have an open, honest account of my life beforehand to show people that the transition's possible. Anybody can make those changes. It is a choice and it does require discipline.
Yeah. Yeah.
This book, Patrick, where can we get it from?
It's now available in a number of places. The main place is Amazon, but it's also in Barnes & Noble, iBooks and other online stores, and it will be available in in paperback in bookstores shortly, but it's actually only been out now for, I think it's 3 weeks in paperback, so it's fairly hot off the press.
So if you'd like to learn more about meditation and Patrick's Midnight McBride's history and getting where he is today... What are you doing to me today?
I know. Wreck-It Place.
My Journey into Meditation, From Pills to Peace by Midnight McBride, and it's available on Amazon. How much is it, Patrick?
It's $12.99 on Amazon, and I'm quite open and honest about most things. Believe it or not, out of $12.99, you get £2.14p, minus your tax and distribution and corporation tax and the other bits. I get about £1.40 for a book.
That's ridiculous.
So it's not much.
I like this on the back. It says, when you think from a beautiful garden, you will see flowers everywhere.
Patrick, thanks for coming in this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you.